On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if the X-Men could finally beat those Sentinels, if anyone could give Dr. Connors a hand on Spider-Man the Animated Series, and if the Dead Boy Detectives went to Philadelphia, would they be the Dead Boys to Men Detectives? All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast that watches only the best of the best comic book-based TV shows and reviews only those. So if you're a nerd and want to know what show to watch this week, you've come to the right place. My name is Cassie. I will be your host. I'm also joined by my other friends / panelists. First of all, there's Ryan.
Oh my God, Cassie. We're here.
We're here.
And we're about to do this.
This is in podcast?
Podcast, yeah. And I have one request.
Okay.
Can we talk about X-Men 97 tonight? Oh, should we have talked about this off air?
I mean, the people have written in, they do love our on-air things. I just can't, it's hard to not hide how much of a actual bitch I am in real life and come across as nice on the podcast.
Can you think about us talking about X-Men?
I'm thinking about it.
Don't answer now. Just
yeah, let me think about it for a little bit. Let me see what Mike has to say, our other panelist. Mike, what do you think?
Fucking duh. Always, every minute it's what I want to be talking about. And everybody's like, hey, Mike, you should probably do a podcast about that. And I go, yeah, I do. Thanks for being a friend.
If you had to guess, how many of your friends do you think actually listen to your podcast? What you pour your heart and soul into?
I have 4 or 5 on a good day friends. I'd say 1 or 2 listen.
Okay, all right.
So that's half.
Those are the 2 that go in your will.
Did you guys see what Patrick Beverley, NBA not superstar, did the other day?
Of course.
Not on my radar personally.
Okay, so Mike, don't listen. This is just for Cassie because you obviously know what happened. He got really mad and threw a basketball at a fan.
Okay.
And then in the locker room later, a woman from ESPN asked him a question, and he looked back at her and said, "Do you listen? Are you subscribed to my podcast?" And she said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "Then I will not be answering any of your questions." And she was like, "Okay." And a dude asked him a question, and then she continued to stand there, and he said, "Will you back away from this group because you don't subscribe to my podcast?"
So that's how
and
we
don't you think
should treat people.
Yeah, isn't this how we should be treating every person?
I think so. The opposite honestly freaks me out more when somebody's like, oh, yeah, I say something like, yeah, I heard you say it on the show. I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
You are a psychopath stalker, reindeer baby, and I want to be away from you.
That's too much pressure. I can't have people know what I say on the podcast and know me in real life.
My opinions are for Cassie and Mike only. And for you to deign to subscribe is disgusting.
You sick freak. But Mike's totally on board to talk about X-Men 97. I did say we cover only the best of the best, and I do feel like obviously it's X-Men 97.
It's a good show.
We gotta absolutely cover that. You know what else is best of the best this week? Specifically this week it came out. I would say, how do you feel about Spider-Man, the animated series?
Oh, I didn't prepare, but I guess I'll talk about it.
We could pencil it in.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to come up later, but first let's go ahead and go to the main event and talk about X-Men 97. On Tolerance is Extinction, Part 2. It's all hands on deck as the X-Men have 12 hours left to save Earth and get through to Magneto. Well, not all heads, because Magneto has convinced Rogue and Sunspot to join him in building a new Genosha. The rest of the X-Men break into 2 groups. Half go after Bastion, while the other half go after Magneto, in a battle that takes another X-Men's life. Taste buds, I ask you, how do we talk about this episode without jumping straight to that crazy end?
We don't.
Wolverine, are you speaking of?
Let's talk about the end.
Guys, I, as a person who didn't read the comics, don't scream at me, did not fucking expect this. This was insane.
You see, Cassie, Wolverine's bones.
Wait, what is this accent that you just pulled
Kissy
out?
Kissy.
It's his real accent. He's from the deep part of Maryland.
After the Cubs game that I went to, I get a hot dog. Then I watch the X-Men 97. Wolverine's bones are made of adamantium, which is a metal.
Yeah.
Magneto controls metal. So at a certain point just before this, he it seemed like he put his own helmet on Professor X's head so that he can control that helmet. We're full of iron in our blood. He can really control anybody at any point he wants. Anyway, so Wolverine's bones are adamantium plated, Mike, or literal adamantium?
No, plated, yeah, because he's not going to be a jellyfish after this. If who knows what happens to Wolverine, but if you're a reader of a comic, you know Bone Claws is coming.
Bone Claws is ready. And so, yeah, he just ripped those puppies out, didn't he?
Yeah, and my dumbass, like the whole time I thought like he was foolproof against Magneto. I thought adamantium wasn't like a magnetic metal. Like I thought it was just like a non-affected thing. So I fully wasn't ready.
Magneto just always played with sportsmanlike conduct before tonight.
He believes in institutions.
It's Wolverine stabbed him through the torso, so Magneto says, you know what? This feud is done. We are done.
When he said this feud is done, I was like, oh, because you're about to die. So you're saying that you're ending the feud by dying. And I don't even know if he is dead. This will be the second death that Magneto has had this season. But no, he made sure that he had just enough juice to fucking...
Yeah.
Oof,
well,
rip.
as you pointed out, Ryan, if he can control iron in our blood, he just goes, I don't bleed now.
Yeah,
He might
put
be
it all
the most
back in.
powerful mutant.
Sucks it back in.
And then all the droplets of blood become like little soldiers and march back into his body.
Hut, 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 hut.
Listen, Wolverine has said a lot of dumb things over his course of life. How bummed do you think he'll be that that's like his last words on Earth? Of like I've seen a lot of wars, and it's always the like bravest that die first.
That's the coolest thing he's ever said.
It's kind of a bummer.
It sounds cool, but it's dumb as hell. Because so it's stupid to be brave.
Yeah, like
Yes. First of all, yes. It's stupid to be brave. Brave and stupid are the same word. Let's get that out right up front.
But they're spelled
But-
differently.
It's also funny because like I guess like when did this war start? So I guess Morph is braver because Morph died first years ago. Everybody in
bravest.
Genosha died before Wolverine, so I guess they're all braver.
No, I like that point. I like that Morph is our bravest little soldier out of all of them.
Not to go straight to moments of the week, but did you hear when somebody said Morph joined the team and he was dead 30 minutes afterwards,
Yeah.
referencing the X-Men pilot?
When Rogue and I honestly, and here's I guess why I'm a dumbass, is I thought more people would flip to Magneto's side because the last couple episodes, Cyclops and Beast specifically had pretty big moments of like, Magneto was right. And so when Chuck comes back and is kind of a dumbass, and Magneto's like, no, remember all the stuff I'm saying? I'm right, and I've been proven right. And that only Rogue and Sunspot join, I was like, that's stupid.
Well,
More people
I'm
would
not
join his
surprised,
side.
Mike, that you were surprised about this because Magneto, or as you call him, Maganito, is very much your kind of person, and everybody should join him.
He'll follow him.
Eat
in an
all
instant.
the pubes, Ryan, because you cannot say Magneto is MAGA. That's fucking foolishness. That is the stupidest thing you've ever said.
Oh, somebody has drinking the Kool-Aid.
Magneto 1,000% was right because he said, hey, mutants, let's have a little island. And then they get decimated. And when Magneto's like, that pisses us, all the humans are like, hey, the mutants are being mad now because we killed millions of them. How dare they be mad now? But no, okay, Magneto's MAGA, you fucking fool.
I've never in my life heard Mike this heated. And you somehow found the one
Yeah,
thing.
this is how MAGA people act when you try to bring up
That's-
normal conversations.
Oh, yeah. Bastion's not the MAGA character here. It's Magneto. Okay, the Friends of Humanity, they're not the MAGA. It's Magneto.
They
Read a
instantly
book.
Scream, eat all the pubes.
And when I say, I'm not saying one tiny bowl of some pubes. Everyone's
know.
pubes.
Every pube on Earth.
That's my power, by the way. I just go, and everybody's pubes are gone. I work in a Brazilian waxing hut. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's it. Next icebreaker game you have to do at a school. I dare you to say that's the superpower you wish to have.
It pairs well with a nice glass of Chianti.
No, but Magneto's obviously a terrorist. Mike is obviously on his way to becoming a terrorist.
Yeah.
They say that if you don't get in the way of straight white males and like teach them how to be correct, then they will become extreme right wingers. This is obviously happening to Mike right now, and we
We're
are watching it
witnessing
happen.
You're absurd. He's extreme left wing. Those are different things. You ignoramus. I'm trying to bring nuance to this conversation. Eat pubes.
Oh yeah, no.
pubes, dude.
Clearly, you're the great debater here.
I know we have a big debate going on. I would like to propose another debate. Is Magneto flying around on just like an asteroid? Is it the whole land?
Asteroid M.
Like,
Asteroid M.
Shit, it is.
Yeah, he's gonna name it Asteroid M.
That
That was
very-
such a great. When Magneto comes down, he's like, "Hey, here's the new plan." And he goes like, "I'm not the one who needs to be reasoned with, Charles." And Chuck just is like, the asteroid floating above my home begs to differ." Like, buddy, you are bringing an asteroid to a knife fight. It's a little overkill right now.
What, Cassie? What person of note, famous person, will put his name on his buildings? Like Magneto will name his asteroids Asteroid M. Does that sound familiar to you?
It's sounding a little familiar.
It sounds a little bit familiar.
Do you know what the M stands for? Mutant. The persecuted race of people who just had millions of them wiped out. Again, read a book. And by the book, I mean comic books.
Is it the good book? The comic
Good
books.
Comics.
Are you sure it's Asteroid M? That M doesn't stand for make, as in America Great Again, Mike? Does it stand for Mike? Is that why you love it? You think it's
Yes.
Asteroid Mike?
I think it's my asteroid. Eat my asteroid.
You bet my asteroid.
So sorry to break this up yet again. We have a moment between Baby Boy, Cyclops. Why am I blinking on all
Cable.
names right
Cable.
now? Cable.
I
Cable
love Baby Boy Cyclops. That's different than Cyclops. That is, of course, Cable.
But Cyclops and Cable have a real heart-to-heart moment before they go out to battle, and it kind of sucked too.
Well, it didn't suck because Scott Summers was in it, but as much as I love Rogue saying Morph died in the first 30 minutes of him being an X-Man, it would have been better if she said the first 22 minutes and 19 seconds, like the exact runtime of that first episode. That I loved. What I don't love is Scott Summers turning back to Cable after he gives him the blue and gold X-Men outfit and say, "What do you expect? Black leather?" Like getting revenge for that joke in the original X-Men movie.
Right.
That made fun of how X-Men dress.
Fuck you, original X-Men movie.
We finally
Okay.
burnt your ass 25 years later.
Yeah, we had a lot like building up to it. Well, not a lot, but I thought the episode was gonna be more of like because this is a 3-part finale, right? We have one more part after this.
One more.
Yeah.
And then we're done for the season.
That's fucking insane and so sad. So I thought this one was going to be like the first part 1 that we saw, insane. I thought this was going to build more of it because it started slower and it started building more emotional pieces, and then we popped off. So I thought we were going to have like a calm, more melodrama over here.
Right.
Nope.
And
And like
super not.
maybe a good thing could happen to the team.
Maybe.
One good thing.
No.
Like
we're in the
Girl
finale,
Scout
3-part
cookies come in.
finale. Good things don't happen.
We had the timeline was a little weird because we had all of them waking up in their beds of the destroyed mansion. But also, like, the first thing Xavier got to was fixing up his wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, no,
Like,
he has
Oh,
priorities.
yeah.
And
Well,
he's
isn't
so
it- also he's walking around the mansion and goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I guess I'm back to my 1960s wheelchair instead of my cool gold floating wheelchair."
he's so bummed that the wheelchair is broken more than like Gambit died or anything else. And so he gets the wheelchair and then of course has to grab his flannel blanket because that is what old people put on their legs when they're in a wheelchair.
The gold wheelchair has a built-in heater, which is why he doesn't need to wear the blanket.
Also, the absolutely destroyed mansion leads to one of my favorite parts of this episode where Cyclops, there's some tension, right? It's Chuck and Scott and Jean. And Jean's like, all right, boys, go at it. And Cyclops starts screaming immediately. And then after the argument, Scott's like, oh, you know what? I'll see myself out. And then walks through a giant hole in the wall.
That is a good way to make your point.
But there's no door to slam because there's no wall there, much less a door.
It's the one time I've respected him. We did.
You're
have...
a chump.
Thank you.
I bet you don't even eat pubes at all.
Both make me angry. If you eat all of them or if you eat none of them.
There's a right amount of pubes every human should be eating.
We had literally everybody screaming at Xavier for how he fucked up by giving the school over to Magneto. Which, I mean, true, but literally everybody the first time they saw him, like, no welcome back, like, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it's now the Comedy Central roast of Charles Xavier.
And even Magneto, when he shows up, is like, you're an idiot. What did you think I was going to do, dickweed?
Like, we all knew this would happen, dumbass.
But his whole, like, the number one reason that he said was, like, I wanted to let Scott and Jean lead their own life and, like, break up their loyalty. You fucking egomaniac bitch. No, I did this so you would stop being in love with me.
You guys were too into me, so I thought if I abandoned everything and put our biggest enemy in charge, that you two would abandon the rest of the people you love. It was your fault for not doing that. He does not know how humans work.
No. Do you guys think there was, in the writing room, there was, like, pitches of what villain it should have been? Like, and I left it to Pyro or the Blob. The Blob would have been incredible.
We would have had that dreamland. In his hands, it would have been unstoppable. We do have. I want to get to the two fights because the two teams break apart. Half go after
Blue
Bastion.
and gold teams for the first
Blue
time
and
in
gold.
animated history.
Mike, you have been impotent for 12 years at this point. How
yeah,
rock
brother.
hard were you when you heard the term blue and gold?
I mean, still soft because I need medication, but harder than I've been in years.
But he took it before in planning, knowing that this would.
Yeah, I took my little blue and gold pill.
Okay, that blue pill was Viagra. That gold pill was gold, Mike. You
It
should
was
not.
mostly gold, yeah.
But that was never mentioned on Extaz, right? The blue and the gold?
No, because there's only one team, and they finally had enough people. And yeah, when Scott was like, blue team do this, gold team with this, I went, oh shit, that's from the comics. And I did the Leo meme. But especially because at the same time, I think it was gold team. They're like, you know what? Let's all get into our original costumes from the comic books for some reason, and it ruined.
Yeah. Well, because those costumes are blue and gold. They all wear blue and gold, and yet somehow know who's team blue and who's team gold.
Yeah. Also, Cable's a little slutty with a stretched out neck. I don't know why Cable's was so deep.
Because he's wearing his dad's old costume, and Scott and Cable are kind of different sized humans.
Oh, that makes more sense then. Okay. That would have never fit over that boy's forearm even.
No.
No. But we do get some rad fights between the team that went after Bastion and had to fight like all these. Bastion was able to power up. He still has like an army of sentinels that he could just like plug directly into.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. But there was some rad fights that happened over there. Also, we get Storm back. We get to see Storm full power. There's just some really cool moments all throughout.
Okay, so let's take the Sentinel one first. They're a little bit nervous because it's almost like they forget how much ass they can kick, and they need Storm there. Maybe it's because they're incapable of kicking ass unless she kicks all of the ass. But can we just talk about Storm and Jean's moment in the plane before they fly out?
Their sister. Didn't know how much I missed you moment.
the Tia and Tamara moment, where Jean says, "Make them mind your weather, sister," and Storm says, "And them weather your mind."
Hell yeah.
Can we give Oscars for Best Picture to a screenwriter of a TV show?
Sometimes, if something has enough emotion in it, it's okay if it's dumb as hell. It's still cool as hell at the same time.
Absolutely. And if this show had any realism whatsoever, if the show was realistic, then Gene would have said, "Make them mind your weather, sister." And then the post-credit, and Storm said nothing. The post-credit scene is like Storm driving home and be like, "Oh, and mind your weather. Why didn't I fucking say and weather your mind? God damn it, I fucked up."
Or
Text
Hank
Gene,
coming in and being like, "Oh, when I say this stuff, you all make fun of me."
This fight, I actually respected Beast. Beast was actually doing some cool
Because he
things.
slapped a bitch in the face with his own hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was rad as hell. It was so good. But yeah, we get some dramatic moments. We have Jean going after she has to fight Sinister.
Yeah. He is
good.
mind fucking her hard.
Exactly, Mike. And it ends in a bowling alley because why not? I guess that was the most random place for them to have like their little showdown. But it was also rad at the same time.
Once again, and this was true for the original series, it's true for this one, Sinister will take a timeout of any fight to just be the bitchiest bitch in all of the land.
Yeah, he will, dude. And then when Morph went to go, like, as he was, like, undercover as Sinister, and they were like, Bastion instantly knew, he was like, do your character work, he would never come back. And I was like,
he was like, Sinister would never care about somebody else to come back for them.
Yeah. Team.
A great Morph and Jean moment is Morph turns into the Hulk, and then Jean just lifts him up and throws him at different Sentinels so he can Hulk out from moment to moment. It's badass.
So good.
Really fucking crushing the fastball special. Like, that is a much better version of our favorite move.
Did anything stand out to you guys in the other battle? Besides the ending, of course, when
So before the ending, like, I thought that the pacing was great. I would say that this is Star Wars Episode 1 level last 20 minutes, the only good part of the movie, where we were bouncing back and forth between the two battles perfectly. In space, this is where all the drama is, right? Like,
yeah.
They try to convince Magneto of what he's about to do, but because Magneto is so Trump-like Mike is so Trump-like, he cannot be reasoned with. And so then we have people doing crazy things to each other. And my favorite in this part is Sunspot attacking Jubilee, and then Jubilee fucking bubble sparks his ass back, and he screams, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
God.
Even though he is, at this point, like, made out of fire. And she has bubble sparks. He's still rich little shit.
He has the power of 1,000 minus 999 suns, which is still very impressive. And just runs away like Yosemite Sam sitting in the wrong place, going, "Ouch, ouch! I'm sorry."
But then we get a panned out view of their battle of them just throwing sparks at each other. So good.
And as the adults all stop fighting and look and just shake their heads like kids.
And they go back to what they were doing, the important stuff. I also love, and I always love, I talk about this all the time, how it doesn't matter what your power is and their power is. If you shoot it at each other, it will meet in the middle, and there's nothing you can do.
There was another moment in that one that I wanted to talk about.
Wolverine, Professor X, Cyclops.
All the above.
Professor X gets knocked out of his wheelchair 7 or 9 times.
There's some great Professor X Magneto moments. So Magneto wears his helmet mostly so Professor X and other telepaths can't get in his head. And Magneto, after 40 years, finally goes, wait. And just that's when he shoves his helmet onto X's head because it's now he's stopping him.
It blocks.
And it blocks it. And so
I seriously did not think about that until right now.
No.
I only thought it was like,
hey, now you look stupid.
Yeah. I legit thought it was like, here's my dick bitch, and put his helmet on there.
I also think it's a tease for next season, who will be our big bad, and Cassie will finally be happy because Professor X plus Magneto, calculus teaches us, equals Onslaught.
Onslaught. Guys, if any show I trust, again, I didn't read the comics. I don't know how bad this went. I am so excited for this show.
Cassie, would you call yourself an Onslaught for Onslaught?
Absolutely. I have it tatted on me, actually.
Oh, shit. Cassie just showed me her back. It is big. Those are big letters.
Piece,
Onslaught turned around with his hand on his lips with his fat ass pointed at you.
In the Cassie and I were hanging out in the cafeteria, the Pop Filter cafeteria, and Greg from Movie of the Year was there. And he said that he also is excited for and loves Onslaught. Mike, did you know this shit?
Yeah, dude.
No, I think Greg wisely kept that away from us.
There's more of us. You guys are wrong, is what I'm discovering. The more I talk to other people, I'm not alone. Everyone else is excited.
Yeah. I bet your favorite Spider-Man thing is the Clone Saga, too, you freak.
That's the fucking exact thing I said to them.
Everyone instantly just...
I literally said, I bet you guys can't wait for Spider-Man 98 so you can watch the Clone Saga.
Fuck, why are there two of us? One of us can go away. There doesn't need to be me and Ryan.
Because we're a Clone Saga.
Or should we Onslaught and become one?
Yeah, why not? You know what, Mike? At this point, you've already given yourself up to Donald Trump's ass. We should just go for the Clone Saga and Onslaught. We should just become Onslaughts. Onslaughts is better than Taste Buds.
Yeah,
Let's
it is.
call ourselves the Onslaughts.
About to rename this podcast. I remember the thing I want to talk about. Ryan, how is it sitting with you knowing that Cyclops is the one who fucked all of this up? Because everything was good until Cyclops zapped Xavier. So the other team had more time, and it was all going to be settled.
Well, whatever he did was right.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to be like the Supreme Court in this, where I'm going to choose my outcome first, and then I'm going to argue my way to that outcome.
Great.
No, but because you can't see why it was the perfect decision now, you will come to believe that it's the perfect decision because it's goddamn Scott fucking Summers.
Flawless logic.
Do you guys get what Scott was saying? So he blasts Professor X from stopping Magneto and says, no, the gold team needs more time. What? What am I missing here? I know this is a complex show, but I truly don't understand.
Well, okay, my timeline might be mixed up. And with X-Men comics, that's how it works. But wasn't this after... Was this before or after he had been hologrammed down to Earth and saw Nate basically kill Jean Grey?
It was in the middle of that. She reached out to him and was like, check it out. This is what's happening.
Dear Scott, what's up,
your
boo?
kid.
Check it out.
Your
this is
bitch-ass
your
son.
baby boy killing me. Pick one to love. Bye. Yeah. And for some reason, that needed more time.
But yeah, why would these affect each other? I don't understand.
Because it's like any Star Wars movie where you have to get the one thing, you have to plant the one thing before you can do the other thing. You know, so these two plot lines, they have to stop Bastion before they can stop Magneto. Because if they stop Magneto, then Bastion rises. The gold team.
No, who knows?
Gold team is in the space.
Okay, so the blue team had to succeed before the gold team could do what they were doing.
Okay.
And I think it's all very clear.
I'll fucking trust you on it.
Sure.
We did pretty minute by minute of some kick-ass moments. But Ryan, do you have a moment of the week that we didn't talk about?
Oh, my moment of the week is Magneto. And we love Sinister on this show, and what a fucking dialogue scene chewing bitch he is. But Magneto here, goddamn, what a star. He says, instead of saying, "Oh, Leech came up to me and said, 'Save me,' and then he died," Magneto says, "Only to watch his tiny eyes vaporized inside his tiny skull."
Because he trusted me. I was like, you dramatic bitch.
He says to Charles, "What's left for us on that pigsty of a planet?"
Yes, that's look down upon this fallen pigsty planet. Hell yes, that's obviously moment of the week.
But the main moment of the week is when
we got it.
do we talk about this like people talk about Drag Race?
This is it, yeah.
Which Sinister should be the star of. Sunspot and Rogue are in his little bubble because if you're a mutant, you can make a bubble. That's just a fact. And he says to the rest of the X-Men, "The offer was made, the door was open," and then lifts his arms and they just float away staring at them. It's the fucking ballerest badass move.
Mine is a different one. It's when Gold Team's up fighting, and Charles said some dumb bullshit, right? And Magneto says, "Oh, how I've waited to say these two words to you, old friend. Shut up," and then slams metal right across his bald mouth.
I figured it was probably going to be shut up, but I so bad wanted it to be eat ass.
Eat these pubes.
Eat pubes.
Is Charles as bald down below that he is on top? We don't even know.
He has alopecia except for his weird eyebrows.
Well, he's probably bald downstairs because fucking Magneto keeps eating those pubes. We don't have drops on this show like we do on our sister show, Movie of the Year, but should we have a drop for Cassie to just punch whenever she wants? It says, "I've been waiting to say this to you for years." Shut up!
Yeah, I need it.
Yes. That's the only drop she needs.
If you can't tell and you aren't watching X-Men 97, you absolutely should be.
Dude.
You need to jump on this. It's amazing.
What is wrong with you? Sort your life out.
Oh, one more moment of the week, Cassie. Sorry.
You're allowed.
Were you about to bounce? Rogue has been comatose for 2 episodes, and then she finally wakes up, and the first thing out of her mouth is like, "Well, I'm as tired as a fucking horny cat, and the devil's Pitch, shut the Rogue. God damn it! You couldn't have said one non-simile before you got to your first one.
Suffering, okay.
She had a baller saying is when she's like, "No, I'm on Magneto side." Everyone's like, "What?" And she's like, "Storm, you bailed on all of us before that. You know what? None of you are Genosha. You all quit on our genocide. Eat all these rogue pubes."
She gives Charles Gambit's nasty, smelly-ass jacket that she was wearing.
Yeah.
She's like, this is your burden now. Bye, bitch.
Were you guys surprised that she touched the mutant named Pew Birdie and has the power to suck people's pubes right into her mouth, and then she touched him and then used that power?
No, because I read the comics, so I knew that was coming.
This is all.
Guys, sadly, that is all the time we have to talk about X-Men. I do have some time to talk about a website. Mike, have you been working on any websites in your downtime?
I have been diligently and so focusedly working on a website.
Diligently?
Cassie, do you know how improv works?
Yeah, you throw in some words as you're like, I sit down at a table.
I
take
turn
notes.
my lamp on, I light my cigar, and I try so quickly to think of something to say right now.
Or I'm skimming through my giant fat notepad of different websites I have to pitch to you guys. Papercut.org. You go there and there's a little doll and you go, what would be the most painful part to get a paper cut? And then you click on the anthropomorphic body we have and it tells you how much it would hurt.
Yikes.
This is a fucked up website. I don't want to endorse it, but if anybody could turn it around and make it a good idea, because right now, Mike, garbage. I don't even know what to say to you.
Well,
Besides
now I know who
garbage.
the paper doll is going to look like.
Wait, Jesus. I love a revenge website. So can you click on any part of this doll?
Yeah, and it'll
Okay.
shock
There's not
you a
some-
little and show how much that paper cut would hurt on you.
What's the pain scale? Because it's always just a paper cut. So, like, what's, like, the highest, like, I think I could take a paper cut, like, well, not the eye. Actually, I lied. I see the value.
Come on, paper cuts are the worst. I'd rather. And my biggest phobia is rebar. I'd rather fall on a piece of rebar than get a paper cut.
That's
not true. I went too far. Fuck rebar.
Yeah.
It's so scary. Why does it exist?
It's terrifying. Your website idea is also terrifying, but I'm going to send you over to some friends who are still going to help you build it. That's cybersprout.net. And Mike, they offer a lot. They're design experts. They're well-versed in digital strategy, elegant design, which your website's going to need some help. It needs some elegance brought to shit. They got easy-to-edit fields, custom templates.
You have to admit, like, the premise of the website is horrifying, but it's so elegant
It's
that
so
I have no
elegant.
choice but to go to it.
I guess I gotta find where the most painful spot to get a paper cut is. Let Cybersprout handle your hosting, Mike. They offer premium hosting that's specifically built for WordPress. Can you imagine? Visit cybersprout.net to get started. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. That's it for X-Men. Now let's go talk about our other favorite comic TV show, Spider-Man, the animated series.
Spider-Man.
Welcome to S Tasmania, bitch, a mini show within a show where we take an in-depth, episode-by-episode look at the seminal and underrated afternoon cartoon of the mid-90s, Spider-Man the Animated Series. This week we're covering Neogenic Nightmare, Chapter 11, Tablet of Time. Totally normal thing. And guys, when we start off, we are not in New York City. We are in a temple with some explorers trying to find the Tablet of Time. And I was instantly excited for this new area we were at.
Well, you didn't see Dial of Destiny in theaters, the Indiana Jones movie. So Temple of Time is sort of like your version of that.
I'm assuming this is a burn. But
No. Nobody saw Dial of Destiny in theaters, so you're fine.
Oh, great. Perfect. We see that there's like some people, some explorers, they found this tablet, and we then see that we're getting the news report of it. And this news report is spending a lot of time talking about how one of a kind and how high priced this thing would sell on the black market for.
Also, that it's the secret to eternal life. Okay, news anchor John Beard, what are you talking about?
But it's the perfect kind of this shows how this show took place in the 90s and not now, because everyone,
Everybody,
whether you're a criminal mastermind or you're a young scientist / Spider-Man who is pouring beakers into other beakers in your bedroom, everyone is watching this news story, and everyone's saying either, ooh, I want that, or that's going to bring a lot of criminals.
And again, the news report just keeps going, and they're like, hey, high crime rates. I know there's a lot of you guys out here. This is the thing to steal.
Don't worry, it will be studied on a college campus where only a one-armed scientist will be guarding it.
Well, not just a college, but the most prestigious college in New York, Mike, I believe. Empire
ESU.
State University.
That classic college.
As far as colleges go, one of the most classic colleges.
But yeah, it is Dr. Connors who's going to be studying it because I don't know, he's the brightest. Who fucking knows, dude? We get a cutscene of
because we know he's a genetics expert, so let's get him this ancient tablet. What the fuck?
No, Mike. It makes sense if you think about it.
Honestly, like maybe this is because of my Twitter, Instagram, Reddit-addled brain, but if I hear that there's a tablet of time, I'm instantly thinking, that's probably not a real thing. Everyone is like, I want that. I want that so bad.
I fucking need it.
J. Jonah Jameson says, clear the front page, Robbie. This is news.
Like, yeah, dude, it's already on the news. Like, we know it's news.
Is there a worse job or a worse name to have than Robbie Robertson's name or job? To just
Sure,
be
hated him.
every second J. Jonah Jameson saying, clear the front page. I found a new bathroom I enjoy.
I've been watching news, so that makes this news.
That's not how news works.
You
J
fucking
cubed.
hack.
You fucking Tucker Carlson.
Immediately after this broadcast, we get all the baddies of New York all calling up their henchmen, being like, hey, you got to go get this tablet. We then get a cutscene of a helicopter flying over the ocean. That is the most insane graphic I've ever seen on the screen. I don't know.
What beautiful, flawless, modern CGI this is.
They really thought they were cooking with this shit, and were so excited to throw it in there, and it was fucking insane.
That Statue of Liberty with one arm up holding a glitch, while in her other arm clutched to her chest holding a glitch. It was glorious to look at.
It feels like the longest CGI they've ever had. It was absurd.
But they kept cutting to it Monty Python style because they were so fucking proud of it.
Why isn't this helicopter moving closer?
Like, I gotta say though, and I don't know about you, we talked about your stupid X-Men comics, so maybe we can talk about some good comics with Spider-Man. I get a little bit of juice, I get a little bit of charge when we're not dealing with Doc Ock and Venom, but these still super powered. Sometimes it's because of adamantium in their head.
Hammerhead?
But still super powered thugs. Like, I love the street crime stories of Spider-Man.
Or Silvermane, who's just like an old mafioso. And you know he is because he'll monologue at a faceless woman forever, just like an Italian mafia guy does.
Who could that woman be?
Also, he has the biggest sunspots you've ever seen covering his hands.
Yeah.
You know he's decrepit
The cartoonists
as hell.
let you know he old.
He's so old.
Just draw giant fucking prunes on his hand, right? That's how people will know he's old. He's a
so
fucking
old
pizza.
That when we first met him, Spider-Man went, this guy's too old. He must be a Duncan's toy chest kind of lovable old guy. There's no way he's an evil guy.
Yeah, Spider-Man defended him in his last appearance because he's like, he's old.
Look at this old guy. He's about to die any moment. Which, getting ahead of us, that is why this dude is interested in the tablet, because he is the legit crypt keeper and about to die in any second. So it's really coming for him. But we get the first scene of everyone coming after the tablet at the shipping docks.
Yeah.
And this is when is Hammerhead the first one to go after it with him? Because Hammerhead's the one
the archaeologists are on the dock waiting, still in their pith helmets and khakis from adventuring. Guys, you reek. You're covered in dirt. You could have changed. It's been months.
No. If you have a job, you dress like the job you have, is I think the phrase.
They were expecting people to be on the docks applauding for them for finding it, so they had to be still in their uniforms they knew. As
if the Titanic arrived to its destination. They expected everyone to be like, the archaeologists are here.
We love them. So it's Hammerhead who's going after it. He pushes Spidey into a fish shredder.
Well, Cassie, let's not skip over how this fight works, because before that final push works, and I have no idea how Spider-Man fell for this, Spider-Man does the incredible action figure move of jumping slightly because Hammerhead, all he can do is point his head at you and run.
Yeah.
Like a bull.
Guys, Hammerhead, fuck Magneto, fuck Mr. Sinister. Hammerhead is my favorite fucking villain in the history of the show. There's things that he could do very easily with his hands that he chooses not to because he does it with his head instead.
I have this medically enhanced flat top, and I will use it.
There's later on, this is a little bit later after this, but there's a security guard walking by him. He's trying to sneak into the Kingpin's house, and he could so easily grab that person, but he fucking slams him with his head as hard as he can. It's his answer for everything.
Also, him having this big ass head that's like metalish, like he's still susceptible to bullets or anything, but doesn't care. Runs in like he's invincible to every situation.
He charges at a boat. Spidey's standing in front of a ship, and Hammerhead charges at this thing, no problem. And Spider-Man's like, "Oh, good, I got you." Hammerhead's like, "No, I ran into it head first. I look like a moron, but I'll do it again.
But I'll do
I'm
it.
gonna
Watch
do
me,
it
dude."
all day, every day."
But he does push him into like this little fish shredder, which I guess is at all docks, of course. And Spider-Man almost gets ate up by the little shredder thing, but he puts his web in it. Thank God, guys, we almost lost a hero.
Yeah, Spider-Man almost died, and also, can you imagine how stinky? Everybody was
stinky.
like, "Oof."
Everybody lets you know he stinks like fucking dead fish.
He comes up with the tablet, and like the police show up, and they're instantly ready to dunk on him. They're like, "This dude fucking sucks." And for the first time in his life, the archaeologists come and are like, "No, he's a good guy.
The
We like
pith
this
helmet
guy."
fucking nerd.
This guy's actually cool. So the tablet goes back to Connors. Yeah, Connors now has the tablet, so he can do his science shit on it. And we see a robot thingy attack.
Mike, you want to take?
Yeah. Before we see the slipperiest robot you've ever seen, Hammerhead is reporting to Silverman, and he's basically bawling. And he's like, it was Spider-Man's fault. And Silverman's like, stop whining. I'm getting a real pro. And that's when we learn that Silverman has been researching this for decades. And then we flash back to like senior citizens of ancient times racing for youth. So just imagine 80-year-olds.
Wait, hold on. This is not
stairs.
This is not an analogy. You have to. They put you in a race for your youth.
Up the temple.
And so
thousands of stairs.
8 old guys do whatever the old guy version of sprinting upstairs is.
I would have built it in one of those chairs that take you up, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
And I would have just raced up those stairs.
You just flipping
Gremlin
the bird
style.
to them as you go up.
But yeah, once you get in front of this ancient laser.
That shoots a laser with so many mirrors. It has to refract off of so many things.
Because if you bounce a laser off a mirror, it gets stronger.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he becomes just a handsome fucking gentleman.
Yeah, you see it progress through many stages, and you're like, what level of handsome are we going to get to? It's like full handsome. That's what he gets.
Full fuckability.
I would have looked in the mirror and said, can we do this one more time? Although that mirror would have fucking bounced a laser right into my face, because that's how lasers work.
We cut to we meet Vanessa finally, which if you know Kingpin in the wider world of Kingpin, Vanessa's a big deal, and this is the first time we've met her. It is his wife. That in every other iteration we've seen in modern times, it's why he's doing things. But this version of Vanessa is like, hey, how about you quit? And he's like, oh, this again. This old naggy wife. Stop doing crime, Wilson.
This bullshit.
And she's like, crime's taking over your life. And he's like, when have I never had time for you? Oh, excuse me, I have to take this call right now. I know we're in the middle of a fight about this.
This is business.
But I do have some crime to do literally right this moment. And she's like, I don't like the stuff. I don't care about the stuff that you bought me. I just think it's weird that you're such a crime lord. You're so crime lordy. And he's like, this. You know what this reminds me of? Mike's favorite president, Donald Trump and Melania. This is Trump and Melania.
Classic.
All right, Cassie, what happens next?
We then have we cut to, I think, is this when we see that Connors is doing like some test on the tablet?
Yeah. So before that, Hammerhead barges in and is like, I want to bail on Silverman. I want to be on your side. Here's what's going on. And then we flash. Deborah, the blonde annoying scientist, she's getting picked up by Flash Thompson, and then this new brunette Elisa sees Spidey and Connors,
whose
starting to
hands
work
we
on
have probably
things.
never seen before, Mike, right?
And well, we've never seen this faceless woman's hands.
Her hands, like, I thought her hands looked familiar, but I'm like, whatever. Story, keep going.
And Connors reveals to Spidey that right now, the tablet just kills things.
Yeah,
He hasn't had he doesn't have the full amount of mirrors to make you grow young. So right now
Well,
it just kills plants.
He has 7, and you need to have 8. And so he aims the tablet at something, and it makes a plant fucking die instantly.
This is my favorite scene because Spider-Man's still impressed. Like, I was like, he was still like, "Whoa, wait,
That's science.
Isn't it supposed to make things younger?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it just killed a plant. I can fucking do that. Like, that shit ain't special."
But not that
I do
quick.
that in my garden every day.
And then this is when the slippery robot breaks in, controlled by Smythe, and Connors basically is now the Hulk, where he starts to lizard out when he's stressed.
Yeah.
And Smythe is full on selling the toy of this robot to kids who he doesn't know are watching. He's like, "I've built this new robot. It's got missiles. It's got lasers. It's got pulsar blasts.
It's got 8 screens all around the head. So if one gets a web on top of it, I'll switch to the other one.
It's got lips that you can kiss if you're that kind of kid.
There's always one."
I think there's more than one of me, Cassie, okay?
No, there's one.
There
you
are
freak.
tens of us."
We then, after he gets in this little battle, and then I don't know, it just like kind of like fades out. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what happens.
Well,
Water
this-
break.
Yeah, like a little timeout, a car's coming. But and then like Peter goes out the window and runs into Alyssa and just asks her
Uh-huh.
out on a date. Like
No,
totally
no,
normal.
No, come on. She tells him, she's like, "This crazy shit happened. Can you walk me home?" And then she's talking. She's like, "I've met some nice people, but especially you, Peter." And she's asking him to dinner, but he happens to walk by where MJ and Harry are on a date. And so he ignores her for, I'm guessing, 15 minutes. He's just glaring at where these people at dinner.
I was
And
gonna
then
legit-
She's staring at him, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do dinner." And she's like, "Okay, weirdo."
I was going to legit say, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I was going to say 45 seconds of Peter brain monologuing while she just looks at him not saying anything. And if we were to refilm that date, if I was her, I would fucking run. He looks at his ex and his best friend in a diner and then says nothing to her, a ton to us, but nothing to her for 45 real TV seconds. And that is nuts.
And then it switches like
She starts
there's-
filing her nails.
There's still so much going on, like that he needs to worry about, but he's like, he sees that and he's like, "No, fuck it, let's go to dinner tonight."
Yeah.
Tonight even.
Oh, this person who just stared off into space for 45 seconds is demanding a dinner tonight? This can only be healthy. I would love to date him.
This is fine. Go ahead, Mike.
We jump to Smythe just doing. If we thought Peter barely had a grasp of science, Smythe is just doing random shit to this tablet, and he turns to Fisk and he's like, "Yeah, what I did might start a chain reaction. Who knows?" And he's like, "What the fuck? Go get Connors, you freak!"
Like before they took the tablet, they were like, "You got to get Connors too, because this is the only science boy who can understand this tablet." And Smythe is like, "Nah, I got this. Surely I can get it." And he's like, "I flashed some light on it, and now it's doing some weird shit." And they're like, "God damn it!" Like he's like, "I started a chain reaction, and it's probably bad."
I know that I say this every week, but I mean it this time. I want us, the three of us, to Topher Grace one 22-minute episode of Neogenic Nightmare of just Kingpin and Smythe together. And just watch that and review that as a real thing, because their dynamic is incredible. They are married. They are like an old biddy married couple. They both hate each other.
I was disappointed this introduced Vanessa because now my headcanon is ruined.
It's ruined.
Just like when I introduced my wife to Mike. He's like, no.
But we're married.
So yeah, he's like, "Go get Connors." I think Spidey is also with Connors at this point, so we get a full like battle between the little robot killer Smythe dude, Connors, and Spidey.
Well, yeah, because Connors is trying to send his wife and kid away. And And Spider-Man shows up and he's like, yeah, man, are you okay? I didn't know you were lizarding out anymore. It's like, they got to get the fuck out of here. And then so Smythe shows up and Connor lizards out. And then Smythe is like, you know what? I'm grabbing Mrs. Connors.
Which is great because the Smythe robot, as Mike has said so many times, is very slippery, right? Spider-Man. But Lizard, out of anger, can hang on to that bitch and beat the shit out of him.
It's lizard power. We then see somebody who goes after, like, someone goes to little Crypt Keeper boy. Again, I'm not going to learn names.
Silverman.
Crypt Keeper.
Pepperoni hands.
There's another guy, and he's like, hey, I can help you. I'll go kidnap Kingpin's wife. He does that.
Tombstone. Okay, let's stop. Describe, Cassie, because you're probably not familiar. Describe what Tombstone looks like.
It looks like and sounds like. Cassie, if you could do an impression of Tombstone, I would love that. Because this person is white as fuck, but
a little blue with like
a little blue
with like with shark teeth, and just like dead in the eyes, but a beefy boy.
The deepest V of a polo ever, and the poppinest collar of a polo ever.
No, I think the deeper the V, the higher the collar is an incredible stylistic choice. But he comes in and he's like, and like Cassie's right, he's more blue than white, but he comes in with one of the most offensive voices I've heard.
He doesn't say jive turkey, but it's definitely 70s blaxploitation style voice.
Did you look up, Mike, who voiced this person? And
No.
If this person is white, I'm gonna freak out.
It's going to be.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find out.
He's just like, oh wait, about the voice. Just like, I can't even do an impression.
We have this meetup where like Spider-Man is now fighting Dr. Connors, who is in lizard form. They've gone down to like the train tracks down below.
Because lizards always go down.
They go down. He attacks the robot and he retreats down into like, it would be sewers, but I guess now we're in the train, switching it up. And Spider-Man is like, I know how to take him out. I'll electrocute him in a science way that totally makes sense. Mm-hmm. We all know how this
beakers
happens.
into beakers.
So that does like knock him out, and it takes it where Spider-Man could take him back to Connor's lab, and he shoots him with his little ray thing to like de-lizardified him.
Cassie, I swear to God, we're close enough that if there's ever anything wrong with me, just take me on your shoulder to a science lab. Point a random laser at me and say, I hope this works, and then shoot that laser right at my ass.
Fingers crossed, dude.
You guys, good news.
Oh, God. Thank God.
Dorian Harewood is a black man playing Tombstone, so it's all good.
They did it. I'm so proud of them.
But like I could see like Cassie throwing my butt down on the floor, because there's always like a platform for laser aiming, and saying, oh God, these instructions are so long. I'm just going to shoot him with this laser, and I hope that I hope that whatever I need to happen happens.
I'm just going to push this one button, and we'll see
It's
what
everything
happens.
laser.
It says laser go now.
Laser go do. We then have Tombstone breaks into the lab to get Connors, and this is when things go awry because the laser's going. It shoots like some gas pipe, because of course the science lab has like a gas pipe, I believe.
Sure.
And at this point, Tombstone has Spider-Man like in a headlock, and Spider-Man's like, whoa, dude, we're both gonna die because of this gas. And Tombstone's like, nah, bitch, I don't breathe.
Well, that's not how he says it. Cassie, could you please just tell us how Tombstone says it?
For sure. He says, nah, bitch. But yeah, he has him in this death grip. He's like, I'll be totally fine. You can die. And that is the end of the episode. It just ends right there.
Bum, bum, bum.
A couple moments that I want to touch on before we got there is we do learn, they couldn't even last an episode, that Elisa is Silvermane's daughter. Mm-hmm. When we meet Tombstone, she's just there. So why hide it before? You could have showed us beginning. It was a weird not reveal. And then Vanessa is being followed, and she's like, oh, you should lose them to the driver. No shit, lady. No fucking shit. Real helpful. Tell him to not let the guy trying to kidnap you.
I've been a Spider-Man mafioso driver for 13 years, and you're saying I should lose him now? Oh, thank you. Thank you, lady.
What have I done without you?
Hopefully you give me a good review on my Mafia Uber.
There's also some insane line that Tombstone had in regards to Silvermane's daughter.
Is it not bad looking for a snitch?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's my daughter. And
What
first
does
of all,
that mean?
Silvermane, that's your fucking great-granddaughter, you pepperoni-handed fuck. Like, there's no way that that's your daughter.
Oh, man. It's truly a wild show. Let's go to awards. I'm going to start with Best Web Zinger. Ryan, what do you got for it?
A crook like you always seems so level-headed.
Yeah.
Because
dude.
Hammerhead's head is level.
Yeah,
Peter,
dude.
you've done it again.
You fucking done it. Mike, this is obviously the one, but do you have another one?
It's in the same fight is once because they're like going back and forth with the tablet at a time. One of the times Spidey gets it, he says, "Sorry, I have to take one tablet every night before bed. Doctor's orders," and then runs away with the tablet at a time.
And then runs away with it. Bye.
And you know he's so proud of himself for it. He's like, God, that was a good one. But Mike, I hate to inform you, Ryan got what I put down, so you know
I
that
understand.
means he automatically wins. I'm gonna give you 4 points for that,
Yeah.
Ryan. Our next one is Kung Fu Grip or Best Move or Power. Mike, what do you got for it?
When Spidey escapes the fish guts, he throws the saw blade straight at Hammerhead and gets the tablet back. He should probably throw more circular blades at people with his weapon.
Yeah, I don't
You know what? Just power tools in general. Just huck them.
He could do some
Huck a
damage.
drill.
Oh, I'll fucking huck a drill.
Ryan, what do you got for this?
Is that a medicine? Is that a pill?
Huck-a-drill?
Huck a drill.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to drive while taking it, though.
Guys, I think I'm addicted to huck a drill. Every time I
We
take
know,
it,
buddy.
I toss a hammer. The best action move has to be we show a little bit of what he is incapable of in his first fight with Spidey when Spidey just goes, "Olay," and gently jumps over him as he crashes into things. But when Hammerhead sees a guard with a gun and says, "Oh, I should take that gun," hammer, and then Hammerheads that fucking guard. That's a fucking move. The guy's got his thing.
He's got his thing, and he's really good at it. Mike, what do you got?
I already said mine with the saw blade and the
Oh, hucking the saw blade.
huck a
tool.
saw blade.
Huck a tool. Mine is Fisk has this little trap when Hammerhead's making his way to him, and he's like,
Wait, Hammerhead, could you step a couple more inches closer?
He's like, no, guys, don't worry about this. I've had nobody dumb enough to do this. I have the perfect opportunity, the perfect trap set, and it's just for a chandelier to come down and trap a dude. It's so good.
Hey, B-level thugs, look around the room and see if there's a chandelier. And if there is, don't stand underneath it. By the way, Kingpin, before this scene, is working out, and his workout is throwing motherfuckers as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went to like a local gym to do it too.
Yeah.
Like he's just throwing the local men of the town.
They're all trying to get their fucking workout of the day on, and he just starts hucking them.
They're like, dude, it was leg day today. He's like, not today.
From the makers of Huckatool is Huckadude.
I feel like your guys' is probably right, but I just really love a chandelier trap, so I'm gonna give me 2 points for it.
It's so Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I
You
just
gotta
love
fucking
it.
love it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go to most 90s thing. Ryan, what do you got?
My good friend Greg brought up how the 90s were all about how NBA players in the draft, college players that wanted to be drafted, wore a suit that was roughly the same size that David Byrne would wear in Stop Making Sense. And Hammerhead's suit is so fucking... I love everything about this character, guys. I think I'm going to go as him for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it like where I actually get surgery to have adamantium put in my head. But it's his fucking suit.
I respect it. Mike, what do you got?
This is a 19-minute long episode. The first 7 minutes is every character we've ever seen watching the same news story. That is 90s as hell.
It feels pretty undeniable. That's a good one. I have just throwing when you're making like this battle robot that's gonna like take down Spider-Man to have it have 5 screens so you could project your face on it.
When Spider-Man shoots one face with web, and then he turns his robot head around and he's like,
Jumps
"Oh,
over.
I'm sorry."
This was like now your robots are just kind of faceless because it's more like intimidating. But like 90s, they were like, "Fuck it, more screens."
Yeah.
I need more screens. I am going to give that one to Mike, though, because when are the whole town going to watch one newscast together? I'm going to give you 4 points for that.
Should at some point it should have been like 7 people outside of one TV store watching
Yeah.
the same
Just
news.
from the street. Now let's move to New York as a character. Mike, what do you got for it?
This is one of the like the whole show is New York as a character, but like this is one of the least episodes. So my is just crawling through subway sewers. The fact that New York subways and sewers are all interconnected and lizards live there. New York is hell.
It's a magical place. Go visit.
Hey, welcome to New York. Thank you for coming. I just want to tell you that all subways and sewers are connected, and lizards live there.
And that's where you'll find the lizards. Have fun. Ryan, what do you got for it?
Mine is obviously Hammerhead's voice, where everybody speaks like normal people, but he's like, "Oh my god, there's fucking pizza in my gun."
You really do love Hammerhead.
Fucking love Hammerhead.
Love this guy. I have like Empire State University or whatever the fuck that college was is the most New York thing because it's a good college.
And gets on the news all the time, Cassie.
All the time.
Empire State is like the Columbia of our era.
I am going to give that one to Mike, though. Mike, I'm going to give you a point for it. Your final one for some bonus points. Compliment me with the Cassie compliment. Ryan, what do you got for it?
Cassie,
Yeah.
in all of the best ways. Take this in the spirit it's
Okay,
intended.
it feels good when you start a thing saying in all of the best ways.
You are my Hammerhead.
Actually, with that, seeing how much you fucking love this guy, this is probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Now I know our friendship's real. Thank you for this.
When anybody comes up to me, and now I'm going to ruin it, but when anybody comes up to me like, "Oh, I've never met Cassie. You hang out with her a lot. Describe her." I'm like, "You ever watch Hammerhead from Spider-Man the Animated Series?"
Your true friend, Ryan. Thank you so much. Mike, can you top that?
Yeah, I think so. Our new favorite character, Elisa, says to Peter, "I met some nice people, especially you." And do you know what I thought of? One, Cassie Davis. Cassie, I've met some nice people, but especially you.
Lame.
That was it was definitely more of the compliment out of the two, but weirdly enough, because of my past trauma and daddy issues, I'm gonna give that to Ryan, I think. Ryan, you are the winner. That takes the total to I got 2 points. Mike, you have 5 points, and Ryan, you have 6. So you are the Spider-Man boy this week. Enjoy it, champ. You and Hammerhead have a beautiful life together.
Oh, God. I would marry him in a second.
I know you would. But that is it for the show. Please subscribe or follow wherever you can get your podcasts or catch every episode on YouTube at Your Pop Filter. We also got some websites. Ryan, can you tell the people about websites?
Yes, please. Yourpopfilter.co. No, I'm sorry. Popfilter.co.
Yeah, boy.
Is
Son
the
of a
new
bitch.
website where you can go to. Popfilter.co is where all of your stuff is. You can get all of our podcasts there. We don't recommend it. Do that at a different place. You could read articles from 2005. Popfilter.co. Just a wonderful place. Also, while you're there, popfilter.co/Amazon. It should be your new Amazon bookmark because if you purchase stuff from that bookmark instead of a different one like Amazon.com, then we don't feel any of that. So, popfilter.co/Amazon.
Nailed it.
Fucking crushed it. Mike, we didn't cover every show that came out this week. There's some ones we're missing, like the Dead Boy Detectives. Do you know another show or a podcast that people can listen to get some info on that?
If you need that sweet, sweet Dead Boy Detectives coverage, you freak, I got somewhere where you could fill it your pretty pink mouth with all the Dead Boy Detectives chat you need, and it's over at our friends on TV Podcast Industries. Every week they have Dead Boy Detectives coverage for you. If you want more podcasts-
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, I said words in an order. Do you know who you're like? I'm going to say very original, different every week. Trump. Movie of the year. This week they're covering mixtape. Last week and this week, if you want the 1984 mixtape, go check out Movie of the Year.
It's a great podcast. We're also on social media. You can find us at Your Pop Filter on Instagram. We also got an email. It's contact@popfilter.co. Ryan, give an example of an email that a person could send over to contact@popfilter.co.
I love Trump and I voted for him. Am I Mike?
Great, solid email, 10 out of 10. Next week, you guys, you know what we're going to talk about, if you could guess, about any of these shows?
Is it Dead Boy Detectives?
Fuck yeah, dude, they're switching over. No, we're obviously going to be talking about the X-Men 97 finale because it's all we're going to be thinking about.
I don't want it to be over.
I don't either. This one has been so good. It's got to end, though, like all good things, including this podcast. So for Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For me, I am me. Bye, everyone.